Have you ever waited for something so badly that every single day felt like torture? Have you wondered why some people seem to move forward easily, while you stay stuck, waiting and waiting, watching time slip away? Today's story will change how you see patience forever. So, stay with me until the end. Long ago, in a land where rivers curved through green valleys and mountains touched the sky, there lived a young farmer named David. He owned a small piece of land at the edge of the village. The soil was rough. Stones covered the ground. Other farmers laughed at him. They said, "David, that land is useless. Nothing will grow there. You are wasting your time." But David did not listen. He had a dream. He wanted to grow the finest fruit trees in the entire region. Every morning, he woke before the sun. He carried heavy stones. One by one, he cleared the field. His hands bled, his back ached. But he kept going. After weeks of hard work, the field was finally clear. David planted young saplings carefully. He watered them every day. He spoke to them gently. He protected them from animals. And then he waited. Days passed. Nothing changed. Weeks passed. Still nothing. Other farmers planted quick crops. Within months, they harvested vegetables, grains, and flowers. Their fields were full of life. David's field stayed silent. The small trees stood thin and fragile. No fruit, no growth. Just waiting, people whispered. They shook their heads. Poor David. He works so hard, but nothing happens. He should give up. Even David's own family grew worried. His father said, "Son, maybe it's time to try something else. This is taking too long." His younger brother mocked him. "Brother, while you wait for trees, I have already sold 3 harvests. I have money, what do you have?" David looked at his empty field. Doubt crept into his heart. He wondered if everyone was right. Maybe he was foolish. Maybe patience was just another word for failure. But deep inside, a quiet voice whispered, "Not yet, keep going. Trust the process." So David continued. He watered. He weeded, he waited. 1 year passed. 2 years, 3 years. Still, the trees gave nothing. David's hands were rough now. His face was darker from the sun. He had no money, he had no proof. Only hope, and hope felt fragile. One evening, an old traveler passed through the village. He was a wise man who had seen many lands. He noticed David sitting quietly near his field, staring at the small trees. The old man approached and sat beside him. "You look troubled, my son," David sighed. "I have worked for years. I planted these trees with my own hands. I gave them everything, but they give me nothing. I am tired of waiting." The old man nodded slowly. "Tell me, what kind of trees are these?" "Fruit trees," David answered. "Apple, pear, plum. I want them to bear the sweetest fruit." The traveler smiled gently. "And how long have you been waiting?" 3 years, David said. 3 long years. The old man looked at the trees. Then he looked at David. "Do you know how long it takes for a fruit tree to mature?" David shook his head. The traveler continued. "A fruit tree does not grow like wheat. Wheat gives you grain in a few months, but a tree takes 5, sometimes 7 years before it bears fruit. And when it does not give you 1 season of harvest. It gives you decades. Your children will eat from these trees. Your grandchildren will sit in their shade. Wheat feeds you once. A tree feeds generations." David's eyes widened. He had never thought of it that way. The old man placed a hand on his shoulder. "Patience is not about waiting and doing nothing. Patience is about working while you wait. It is about trusting that the work you do today will bear fruit tomorrow, even if you cannot see it yet. You are not wasting time, David. You are investing it. The traveler stood and walked away, leaving David sitting in silence. That night, something shifted inside him. He realized he had been measuring his patience by the wrong clock. He had been comparing his trees to other people's crops. But trees and crops are not the same. They grow on different timelines, and that is okay. From that day on, David stopped counting days. He stopped comparing. He simply worked. He watered his trees. He cared for them, and he trusted. 2 more years passed, and then, one spring morning, David walked to his field and froze. Tiny white blossoms covered the branches. His heart leaped. The trees were flowering. Weeks later, small green fruits appeared. By summer, they had grown large and ripe. David picked the first apple. It was perfect, sweet, firm, beautiful. Tears filled his eyes. He had waited 5 years. 5 long, hard, doubtful years. But the wait was over. The harvest had come. Word spread quickly. People came from nearby villages to see David's trees. They had never seen fruit so rich and abundant. Merchants offered high prices. David's orchard became famous. And just as the old traveler had said, the trees kept giving. Year after year, season after season. David's children grew up eating from those trees. His neighbors planted their own orchards, inspired by his patience. And David became known not as the man who waited, but as the man who trusted. Friends, we live in a world that worships speed. We want instant results, quick success, fast rewards. We see others winning and think we are losing. We see others harvesting and feel like failures because our field is still empty. But here is the truth nobody teaches. Real growth takes time. Deep roots cannot be rushed. Strong foundations are built slowly. The things that last are the things that took time to grow. When you plant a tree, you do not see the roots spreading underground. You do not see the trunk getting stronger inside. You only see a small, fragile sapling. But beneath the surface, something powerful is happening. The same is true for you. When you work on yourself, when you study, when you practice, when you build something meaningful, the results do not show immediately. But that does not mean nothing is happening. You are growing roots. You are building strength. You are preparing for a harvest that will last. Patience is not passive. It is active. It is showing up every day, even when you see no progress. It is watering your dreams when the ground looks dry. It is protecting your vision when others laugh. It is believing in the process when doubt whispers in your ear. And here is the most important part. Impatience makes you compare. Patience makes you trust. Impatience says, "Why not me? Why not now?" Patience says, "My time will come. I am exactly where I need to be." So, if you are waiting for something right now, if you have been working hard but seeing no results, if you feel discouraged because others seem ahead, remember David. Remember the trees. What you are building is not wheat. It is an orchard, and orchards take time. But when they bloom for generations. Do not give up. Do not stop watering. Do not abandon your field just because the harvest has not come yet. Your season is coming. Your fruit is forming. And when it finally appears, it will be worth every moment you waited. Patience is not about sitting still. It is about moving forward with faith. It is about trusting that every effort counts, even when you cannot see it yet. So keep planting, keep watering. Keep believing, because the truth about patience is this. It does not delay your success, it deepens it. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more wisdom that changes the way we see life. And remember, your harvest is closer than you think. Thank you for listening.